It's it's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Friday, the 14th of October. I'm Michael Groff. The voice didn't want to get started today. How about that? Well, another warm and dry day here across the metro, but weather pattern does begin to change as we head into the weekend as an upper low comes on in, moisture on the increase. That'll bring an increase in rain chances, showers, thunderstorms, maybe some locally heavy rain, and that potential of a few strong or severe storms as well. And as an added bonus, temperatures headed way down to below normal levels. We might not see 90 degrees again for several days, and that's a good thing. All right, and then what about the weather for next week? Any more unsettled weather on the horizon as we get into late October? We'll talk about that too. So a lot to discuss. Let's get into it here. First, before we do any of that, it is Friday. So that means it's Photo Friday here. And that's where we take a look at some of the photos and or videos that you guys have submitted. First up, David Parnell out there at the Odyssey Institute for Advanced International Studies. I believe that's what that is. It's a mouthful, but also a beautiful day. Take a look at that. This is from last weekend. Nice stuff there. Then in North Phoenix, Beth was up there at I-17 and Happy Valley Road and caught this. Man, look at that. That is gorgeous. Love that picture. And then this one too, same location. I believe this is also last Saturday. And then a couple other shots that she took from North Phoenix. Again, just spectacular stuff as always from Beth. We appreciate that. Then we haven't heard from Steve up in Willow Creek in a little while, but looks like another ominous sky. They have had lots of rain. Steve says that since June 1st, he has received 11.7 inches of rain in his gauge up there, almost a foot of rain over the past four and a half months up in Willow Creek. So that is up there in Mojave County. Beautiful. Love to hear that. That is a part of the state that could really use the rain, and I'm glad that they're seeing it. Then Rita, yes, she was out there at Bell Bank Park last weekend and caught some, look at those clouds, nice fluffy clouds going on there. A great day for some soccer with Jack. And speaking of fluffy clouds, how about this? We go international here. This one is from Zane, our buddy down there in Brisbane, Australia, and that is a gorgeous sky. Love these pictures. I could look at these kinds of pictures all day. I just love taking a look not only around the state or the region, but the world as well. And that's why we do it here, Photo Friday, each and every week. But we're not quite done yet. You know, if there was any semblance of active weather across the state, who was on it? Yes, Ryan Seek. Here's a time-lapse video that he took. This is down there near his home in Pinal County, south of Phoenix, down there by Maricopa, and watch as some storms try to come on in. And we just love these time lapse. And he does such a great job of these during the monsoon season. And now here in the post-monsoon with some more active weather around, I'm sure we'll either get more of these time lapse or some lightning shots as well. And that is awesome. I could just watch this stuff all day, folks. I really could. All right, you want to get in on Photo Friday, you can do so. groffshow@gmail.com is my email address. That is groffshow@gmail.com for Photo Friday. As always, thank you to everyone for all of your submissions each and every week. Obviously, we couldn't do this segment without you. It would just be Mike's photos, and, well, we blind guys don't take the best pictures. Let me tell you that. All right, well, let's get into it here. First, we'll take a look at the almanac from yesterday. 97 degrees the afternoon high. 71 was the morning low. I don't know, blind photographer, that'd be a pretty good shtick, though. Maybe that would that'd go viral on YouTube. Why not? All right. The normal high 90, the normal low 67, and we are 2.8 inches behind on rainfall. Hopefully we can start to cut into that deficit this weekend with that potential of some heavy rain. All right, before we do that, let's take a look outside right now here at 11:35 a.m. Some high clouds around. We're sitting at 91 degrees at Sky Harbor. It is a warm one, but it's dry too. Dew point way down there in the mid-30s at 35. Relative humidity 14%. Wind from the east at 10. The barometer is falling. Now we can go to this. The upper air look across the nation. And it's been a very persistent pattern, troughing in the east, ridging out across the Pacific Northwest. Underneath that, there's an upper low. We call that a Rex block whenever you have these an upper low pinned underneath a big ridge like this. That upper low has been sitting off of the coast of Southern California and northern Baja. It has not really moved anywhere most of the week, but it is going to start to move as we head into the weekend, gradually coming our way, bringing moisture in with it and better chances of rain. Here's the watch warning map. Look at those red flag warnings and wind advisories and the potential of wildfires there across the nation's heartland. And hey, look at this. Here in the Southwest, a flood watch now in effect. And yes, this includes the greater Phoenix area, but also parts of Gila, northern Maricopa, La Paz, parts of Yuma, Mojave, eastern Riverside, Imperial, and San Bernardino counties. And that is in effect from 8 a.m. tomorrow morning through 8 a.m. on Sunday. And a flood watch means that conditions which may lead to flood and or flash flooding are possible during that time period in and close to the watch area. The convective outlook for this is for today. No organized areas of severe weather across the nation. Hardly any thunder to be found out there. And here's a look at precipitation. This is valid through Friday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix have come up now around an inch, maybe a little bit more than an inch. And we could see some locally heavier amounts in the strongest storms. As I always tell you whenever we show this graphic, your amount will vary. And yeah, it seems like central Arizona is the bullseye for the heaviest precipitation. And we could use every drop that we can get. We'll talk about the details of this right now and everything else as we get to the models. Have a look at things. This is the GFS. It's the 12Z run, and this is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Trough in the east, ridge out across the Pacific Northwest up into western Canada. An upper low here just to our west off the Southern California and northern Baja coast. And what it means for us down at the surface today, some high clouds around, really though, mostly sunny sky. Those high clouds aren't going to slow down the warmth. Highs middle to maybe even upper 90s today. Tonight, mostly clear in the evening, then clouds are going to increase. And we could even see a few showers develop across parts of the state by the morning hours. Lows tonight, mainly mid-60s to mid-70s. And then tomorrow, now here we go. This is our upper low coming in. And as it does, an initial push of some pretty good moisture comes on in here tomorrow morning. And that should lead to an initial push of showers and isolated thunderstorms. But the showers will be scattered. We don't expect to see widespread rain tomorrow morning. But if you're planning to head out tomorrow morning, let's say any time after 6, 7, 8 a.m., you could run into a few raindrops out there here and there. Certainly not going to rain everywhere. Light to mainly moderate showers and a rumble of thunder. And then I expect kind of a lull in activity by the time we get to the midday. And then as the upper low gets closer, we'll see another round of showers and storms, better coverage of showers and storms and more intense showers and storms as well by late in the day. That should be kind of how it plays out. So kind of 2 rounds of rain here. And high temperatures tomorrow, a little bit tricky, but I think we should manage to only make it into the middle 80s. With lots of clouds around in the morning, some sun here and there, especially by midday and afternoon. And then by late afternoon, the better coverage of rain comes back in here. Now, with this upper low approaching, we'll start to see winds aloft increase, better diffluent flow, and cold air aloft comes in. And as a result, showers will increase in intensity, aerial coverage, thunderstorms will be scattered about. And there will be some widely scattered, strong to isolated severe storms. And let me show you some of the atmospheric parameters that we have at play for that. This is a forecast sounding coming off of our HRRR model. This is tomorrow afternoon. And again, we love to geek out on these weather videos. These videos are for everyone, but, you know, we talk to anyone from the novice, the casual, the person that just wants to know, hey, what's my weekend going to look like, all the way up to the geekiest of the geek. And that's who we're talking to right now when we show you these forecast soundings, a profile of what the atmosphere is going to look like tomorrow. And we had a commenter, or a couple of comments the last couple of weeks asking if I can do more in-depth tutorials or kind of break down everything on these forecast soundings. And I'm going to have to make a video about that at some point. But for now, what we'll discuss here is all of the parameters are coming together for at least thunderstorm activity and a few strong storms. We have CAPE values, that's convective available potential energy. That's the ability for air parcels to rise freely through the atmosphere, up around 1 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. We've got precipitable water values up around 1.3 inches, which is around 180 to 200% of normal for this time of year. So a lot of atmospheric moisture. Mixing ratios look good there. And yes, we do have some decent shear, unidirectional shear in the atmosphere, which means that thunderstorms could become organized. We could see some training of echoes, which would lead to better coverage of heavier rain in a specific zone tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, especially here across south central Arizona. And so with all of this coming together, and then you add in, there is just a little bit of energy helicity index there, a little bit of a storm relative helicity there. Not a lot, but enough to where we do have a concern about some rotation of thunderstorm cells, maybe a few supercells that could develop. So what's on the table then? Because people want to know, if there are severe storms, what could they do? Well, we could see a few storms that produce large hail, some gusty, maybe damaging straight line winds as noted by the D-CAPE values. That's down shear CAPE. That's the drier air down at the surface as it rains, as rain comes down, rain-cooled air comes down into a very dry, low level of the atmosphere. That creates stronger outflow winds from thunderstorms. And the greater the difference is in those temperatures from the rain-cooled air down to the surface, the greater those winds are. And that's denoted that one of the metrics that we use to measure that is D-CAPE. Anytime you see that number over 1,000 joules per kilogram, that means you could see some really strong damaging wind. So a few storms could produce that. Again, this is not going to be a widespread severe weather event, but some isolated severe storms are possible. And you notice the possible hazard type on the right there does say severe. And I know some have been asking about even the potential of a tornado. Look, could there be a cold air funnel? Maybe one of those little brief spin-up tornadoes? Yes, that is such a remote possibility, though. It is a non-zero threat, but the atmospheric parameters do not generally favor tornadic storms to develop. So we're not too concerned. But as always, what you have to do is just keep an eye on what is National Weather Service watches, warnings, advisories, okay? Otherwise, we'll bump the rain chances up to about 90% for tomorrow night. So we do think we'll see some widespread rain, heavy at times, and some thunderstorms around too. And then as we go to Sunday, still some wraparound moisture from this low as it begins to move to the east, moves through the state and begins to move out by late in the day. And so the 50% chance of rain. High temperatures, though, on Sunday. Look at this. We're talking mid-70s to around 80. Absolutely beautiful. By Monday, that system's out of here, and we're left with drier air coming on in. So mostly sunny sky returns, highs low to mid-80s. Pretty much the same deal on Tuesday, mid-80s. Wednesday, mid to upper 80s, sunny sky. But there is another upper low shown to develop off of the Southern California coast. A return to a Rex block pattern will take place out there by the middle and latter part of next week. Thursday, more the same. Some increase in clouds looks likely here, and high temperatures staying in the mid to upper 80s. And one of those days late next week, we might even touch 90. Then a week from today, this is Friday, the 21st, and there's that upper low sitting to the west of us, and so some moisture could be coming in. But again, I have to stress, this is a week out, and we're talking about an upper low. This is likely to change between now and then, but it is a consistently advertised idea that we're watching. And then going out 10 days, hey, this is Sunday, the 23rd, and that's a pretty deep trough coming through the western states. As for rain chances, we could see a little bit here, maybe late next week or the following weekend if this verifies, but primarily most of the energy looks to stay to the north of us. But temperatures would head down again to below normal levels. We might not even make 80 degrees if this solution verifies. All right, now let's take a look at rainfall for Phoenix off the European Ensemble. This is going out through the 28th of the month. The ensemble mean up around or just over an inch. And you got individual members showing even more than that. Very bullish on this upcoming rain event. I'm not sure if we're going to get that much, but certainly the potential is there. And that's why we have that flood watch in effect from 8 a.m. tomorrow through 8 a.m. on Sunday. And then temperatures off of the national blend of models. Oh, yeah, that looks pretty good with highs barely making it to 80 degrees on Sunday. We might not even make it there. And then mostly staying in the 80s overnight, lows in the 60s. What we euphemistically refer to as fall has arrived. All right, that is going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video, we'll be back here tomorrow morning with the threat of unsettled weather. So do look for that. We'll have another live one for you here. And if you enjoy these videos, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell. Be sure to comment, leave all your feedback. We love to see that. Smash that like button and all the other YouTube stuff that we like to say. All right, the executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is the one and only my Michelle. And thank you so much for watching, all of your continued support, everything that you guys do for Photo Friday, all of that. We just could not do these videos without you guys. So thank you again. Stay cool, stay hydrated out there. Thank you for participating in the live chat. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, we're a little bit late today. And you guys have yourselves an amazing Friday and a wonderful weekend.